I watched my wife kiss her boss on our anniversary. I looked directly at her. She looked back at me. And I sat down, picked up my glass, and said nothing. That was 6 months ago. Last Tuesday, it was all over. If you've ever been told you're crazy for trusting your own eyes, stay with me. This one's for you. My name is Ethan. I'm 34. And I need to tell you exactly what I did, and why waiting was the most powerful thing I've ever done. 5 years. That's how long I'd built a life with this woman. I worked construction, poured concrete at 5 a.m., came home with my hands torn up, and I was proud of it. I didn't need much. Just a real marriage. She suggested inviting her boss to our anniversary dinner. It felt strange. I said yes anyway. I didn't want to be the guy who causes a scene over a feeling. He sat down and immediately said, "So you still work with your hands? That must be exhausting." She laughed. It wasn't a nervous laugh. It was sharp, like I was the punchline. I excused myself, walked to the restroom, came back 2 minutes early. They were in the hallway, her hands on his chest. And then she kissed him. I froze. My whole body locked up. I was one step away from walking over there, and then a hand grabbed my arm from behind. A stranger. Older man, gray jacket. He said quietly, "Don't move. You don't know everything yet. If you react now, you lose." Then he was gone. I never saw his face clearly. I still don't know who he was. I sat back down. She smiled at me across the table like nothing happened. Her boss raised his glass and said, "To loyalty and knowing your place." And I smiled back. And I said nothing. That night I confronted her. She didn't flinch. "You're imagining things. You've always been insecure." Her voice was completely calm. That's what scared me more than the lie, how prepared she was. I started noticing things I'd been too trusting to question. Money missing. Small amounts first, then bigger. Phone calls she'd take in the car. An office party where she introduced me as just my husband while he stood close and told her co-workers, "Not everyone's built for success." The whole room chuckled. I came home early one night. I heard her voice before I opened the door. She was on the phone. "Once I'm settled, I won't need him anymore." I stood in that hallway for a long time. Then I went to my desk. I opened a folder I'd been quietly adding to for months. Recordings, bank statements, screenshots, timestamps. What I thought was cheating was something bigger. This was a plan. They needed me to snap. One violent reaction, one public outburst, and everything I'd built, my house, my credit, my reputation, could be handed to her cleanly. In her mind, I was supposed to destroy myself. I called my friend Jake that night. He came over without asking questions. We went through everything together. And then we found the recording. Her voice clear. We just need him to snap once. His voice. Then everything becomes ours. I felt completely cold. Not rage. Cold. The kind of cold that comes when you realize you've already won. You just haven't played your cards yet. For the next few months, I gave them nothing. No arguments. No accusations. She got bolder. She said, "You'd be nothing without me." I looked at her and nodded. Meanwhile, I was talking to a lawyer. Building the timeline. Protecting every asset. Making sure that when the truth came out, I was the one holding the door open. When I released everything, I didn't yell. I didn't post an angry caption. I put together a clean, factual video. Her voice. His voice. The bank transfers. The dates. Side by side. No music. No drama. Just evidence. It took 48 hours. His company received it. His colleagues shared it. The people who had laughed at that dinner table went quiet. Mutual friends who'd believed her version of events started calling me to apologize. She came home furious. "You ruined everything." I said, "No. I just told the truth." I was already packed. The lawyers were already done. The house, the accounts, the legal record, all of it already secured. She walked into an empty outcome. Her boss lost his position within the week. I used to think silence was surrender. I know now that silence, when you're building something, is the loudest weapon you have. The stranger at that restaurant, I've thought about him 1,000 times. I don't know if he knew what was happening or if it was just instinct. But he was right. If I had reacted that night, I would have handed them exactly what they wanted. Instead, I let the truth do what I never could have done with my fists or my anger. If you've ever been made to feel small, crazy, or invisible by someone you trusted, you're not alone. The comments are open. Tell me your story. Subscribe if this hit you somewhere real. I drop a new story every week. And click hype, because someone out there needs to hear this today.